Hello friends, today we are going to solve one of the Leet Code problems. So this problem is the very first problem of the Leet Code, which is to sum. So the problem goes like this. Given an array of integers, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to a specific target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution and you may not use the same element twice. And they have given us an example of how it works. So let's think of a solution. So the very first solution that comes to our mind is a brute force solution. So what is a brute force solution which can be achieved easily without thinking of too much logic? So let's design a brute force solution and then we can optimize it. So I'm going to define a function here. So let's convert it out as brute force solution. So define to some force, and then we are going to get two parameters. One is the nums, which is the integer array, and then target value. So we need to know how many number of elements are there in the input array. For that we are going to find the length. So length is equal to len of nums. This would give us the number of elements in the input array. So now I can write a for loop like for num in nums. So this way I can iterate over all the elements in the array. But with this one I might not able to get the indices, which is what required for the solution. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have it as for I in range of 0 comma length. So this way I can iterate over the number indices. So and then now we are going through the iteration once, and then now I'm going to have another iteration which is for I comma j on range 0 comma length. So I'm iterating over the list twice here, and then I'm going to check if the ith element in the list plus the jth element in the list is equal to the target value. If it is, I'm going to return the list of I comma j as the value, which is the indices of the first and the second element. So to run the solution we need to call this. So let's call this function with example input. So now we will use the same example given in the Leet Code, comma 9. So according to the Leet Code we should be getting an answer of 0 comma 1. So let's have a print statement here so that we can see what is being returned by the function. I'm gonna run this function and then I got a 0 comma 1. Yeah, our brute force solution worked. So let's optimize this solution. Optimized solution. So in the brute force solution we are iterating over the array twice, so our time complexity has become n square, which is very bad. So let's try to have a time complexity of O of n so that we can optimize it and give a better approach which all the companies would like. So now what we are going to do is to get an optimized solution and iterate over the element once, we might have to compromise on the storage space. So the space complexity might increase. So in my solution what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same two parameters as the input, and then I'm going to find the length of them similar to our brute force solution. And then now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to declare a dictionary here. I'm going to store all the elements present inside the list in the dictionary. So if you see here, for I in same for loop as the brute force solution, 0 comma length, we are going to store nums of I. So this nums of I would give the actual value of the element, and then I'm gonna have the index as the value for this key, so that we can retrieve the value which is required for the solution. And after this, now I need to iterate over the array so that I can find the sum of the two elements. So again, I'm going to iterate over with the same for loop. So here I'm going to find the other number which is required. So the other number is equal to target minus num of I. So if you see here, we are iterating over the elements, and addition of two elements makes the target value. So here nums of I plus other number which is an unknown would have given us the target value, and we are just using simple mathematical operations to move the element to the other side, so that the other number value is equal to the target minus num of I, and both target and num of I are known value. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check if other number in storage. So if other number is there in the storage, it means that we have a solution. And we also need to check another condition. So if you look at the problem, it said that you may assume that each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. So we need to make sure that we are not using the same element twice. For that, we are going to make sure that I is not equal to storage num of I. So this way we are making sure that we are not using the same element twice to reach our solution. And then if it is true, what we are going to do is we are going to return I comma storage nums of storage of, we should return the other number. So now the storage of other number would have the index as the value. So we are returning two indexes, and we should not be returning it as a tuple, but we should be returning it as a list. So let's see how this solution is going to work. And I always get confused between Java and Python. So there is no ampersand in Java, and there is no ampersand in Python. We have it in Java, so I got confused, and we should use a and d for the AND condition. So let's call this solution now. So now let's change this optimized, and let's comment out this part since we are already done with it. So let's run this solution. So it has given us a none. So something is going wrong here. So this is a good time to debug the solution as well. So now we have other num equal to target minus num of I, and then if other number is in storage and I not equal to storage nums of. So what we have done is here, other num in storage, we should have checked I of the other number, not the nums of I. So that's the mistake. And then now we are going to check return, and then we are returning I and storage of other number. So now we got the answer. So we have done a debugging also as part of this course, which is very helpful, because without debugging you might be in a difficult position in an interview. So we have got an optimized solution, and this optimized solution runs in time complexity of O of n because we are just using one for loop, but the space complexity has increased because we are using an additional dictionary where we are storing the input elements. So the space complexity has increased in this problem. So we have compromised on the space complexity part to improve the time complexity. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe for more Leet Code solutions.